We are responding to community needs, whatever they might be, in whatever circumstance. So we don't come up with what we're going to do. We listen to what the community is telling us they need from us. And so doing distant learning for kids, providing additional meals when they're out of school are just examples of how we show up in our community and how that changes all the time.
When became apparent that we're going to have a shutdown and schools were going to close, we were in the middle of running our spring day camp. So we, I think, pivoted pretty quickly, taking our program components and modifying them to incorporate CDC and local health officials' recommendations. And so we did that almost immediately in April, servicing children of essential workers. As we moved into summer, we were able to open up our programs to all parents who had to go back to work and needed care for their children. There was still the gap in care, so we had to provide something else to supplement that. So we started up our learning centers at our branches. I'm so proud of how everybody pulled together. Because our staff, our childcare staff, they really had to rethink how they did their work. I mean, the roles were different. They not only provided programming, but they had to think about what were the meaningful, social engaging activities that they could do safely given all the COVID restrictions. And the other thing is we had to teach the children how to behave in this COVID environment. We had to teach them about being personally responsible for their health and wellness and safety. And we had to do it in a fun way that they wouldn't cause additional fear or stress. When the schools closed, our biggest concern was the children who were on free-reduced lunch. They would not be able to access a nutritional meal at least once a day. So we worked collaboratively with other community partners and the DOE to identify areas throughout the island where the children would not be able to access meals at a DOE school that was providing grab-and-go meals. And so the YMCA ran up to 12 grab-and-go sites serving meals throughout the summer, over 90,000 meals. And we continue to do that. We continue to do some of our grab-and-go meals because we do know that with the distance learning, children are not able to access meals. So currently we're running 5 grab-and-go meal sites throughout the communities.
One of the things that we've learned and seen from the pandemic is this notion and the appreciation for the work of those that are helping raise kids and the stresses that have happened at the parent level, at the educator level, at the before and after, as well as the employer level. So it's really highlighted the importance of childcare, taking care of kids when you can't because you're working, as well as adding, additional components and opportunities in their life. Nobody singularly is able to provide all of those things, and only as a network and people working together in community do we raise these kids up. And so it brings us great joy to see our kids develop into those thriving adults. We know that early interventions are super important. We know that we do this as a community. Not one of the partners and parents, et cetera, can do this all alone. And it's only through collaboration and identifying who might be the best to help the kid at a certain time is important for us, and that's how we do our work.
I think that this is just the beginning, and there's still much work ahead of us. But if we continue down this path of being collaborators and working together and really investing in our children and families, we're going to come out even better than I think that we were when we started. This is only possible because of many hands, many collaborators and funders and supporters. We had the support of some major supporters such as the City and County of Honolulu and the Coronavirus Relief Fund, the State of Hawaii DHS and A+, and the Hawaii Resilience Fund of the Hawaii Community Foundation. very supportive for childcare and also the meals. No Kids Hungry by Share Our Strength, and then the Samuel H. and Mary Castle Foundation. We also want to give a shout out to our media to get the word out as to where all these grab and go sites were, and the fact that we were offering an option for childcare for essential workers. So we have Heart Radio, Summit Media, all of our TV news stations, and Honolulu Star advertising. So they constantly were getting the word out as to where and how to access these services.